Okay, welcome back to News Review on TV Sapientia. Still Geoman, Mark Davis, and Mr. Chinedu Wonu. Yes. All right, the Lagos Calabar coastal rail line. That seems to be one of the biggest spendings the federal government is embarking on right now. Today, we read in the news that the federal government is set to begin enforcing, its right of way.
Yes.
So, what do you make of that and how it affects the whole ecosystem?
Okay. Yes. Since the past few months, the federal government has been talking about the need for them to, construct that massive infrastructure, which is the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, and they have been bold and very courageous about that statement, and they also. It became clear at some point that some, infrastructure, hospitality was going to be affected because you have people who have their, hospitality, hotels and all that along that coastal highway. And the critical one was that of a landmark, a very, very massive tourist attraction, that they said has over 4,000 employees, and they said they pay so much revenue to Lagos State government and all that. But they insisted, federal government insisted that it's directly on their right of way, and they needed to take it off. There's been plenty of rapprochements, plenty of discussions and meetings, and the man has come out to lament, both on social media, in the regular media, and they even had a meeting, a very, very critical meeting with the Minister of Works, I think, Umahi, and he gave some hope. He said, they were going to maintain that facility and all that. But based on what we are reading, of late, we heard that that demolition has started on that property, and we don't understand. Maybe federal government has better information than we do, or maybe they have some kind of things they feel. The federal government has that. We need to establish that fact that they have that power. You understand, to do whatever for the good of the people. For the general good of the people. They have that. So when we want to really analyze this, one goes back to how the man got the permits, how he got the certificate of occupancy and all the documents. Was that coastal project appropriated or even planned for, or did they just come up with it based on this and that? Somebody has also argued, or some people have also argued, that this is not the greatest problem Nigeria has presently, that we have much more critical problems we can focus on than trying to build a coastal highway that will last for so many, and that will also take so much from our coffers. So it's a problem. So for me, they have moved on. They insist they want to do this, and they can do it, and not so much will happen. The only thing we may actually begin to talk about now is how to compensate, the man. Would he go and do something else? Sometimes this may actually be for good. They say sometimes every disappointment may be a blessing. He can now, structure and work out and come up with a better facility somewhere, that may actually be better than what he's had before. There's not much we can do or say about it. If federal government says they want to, do this, they have the powers and they have the right to do it, and there's not much we can do. The only challenge is the economic, implications, like you mentioned. People are going to lose their jobs, and they're talking about 4,000. 4,000, even at 1,000 is not a small number. Then, of course, Lagos State government is going to lose, revenues, attributable to them from that, infrastructure. And, so tourists will have to find somewhere else. And I can tell you, Nigeria will also lose some level of revenue, especially if you have foreigners coming in with some dollars, to spend in that facility. So either they look for somewhere else, or sometimes you have this emotional connection that once you come to Nigeria, your usual place. Now they may not come, and we lose some money. So it has some economic challenges. But the hope federal government keeps giving us is that, the future is better. By the time this is done, the economic transactions that will flow from that coastal highway is far better than the, marginal sentiments we are talking about, concerning this landmark beach resort and all that.
No, I hear you, but I have my fears. My fears really go beyond landmark.
Yes.
My fears go beyond landmark to what is really happening and what this says. The first one is this. This is an investment by Nigeria's territorial waters.
Yes.
An individual or a group gets some approval and every necessary approval to set up there. This goes beyond states. I mean, to get the approval to have this in any country of this world goes beyond the federal government. You're looking at the Navy, because you must talk about security implication of being by any country's waters.
That's true.
You're looking at the almighty federal government.
Nigerian land waterways and all those categories of people.
No, but where it is located, inland waterways might not do much. We're talking about the real Navy, because you're looking at the nakedness of Nigeria. All right? So I'm looking at, the first one is, it speaks to how do we operate government? How do we, right? That is one. And then, like you said, the Lagos-Calabar coastal highway, it shouldn't be something that was planned in a day.
Yes. I agree.
All right?
Yes.
Okay. So, did we know we are going to have this with, and then there's going to be an approval, somebody seeks to approval, and then we didn't do our maths, speak to that. I'm also looking at, couldn't we have started from the other end? Couldn't we have started from the other end and then give businesses, not because it is landmark now. Okay. It might be me having a shanty there and selling ice water to tourists and feeding my family. It might be me, you know. So why not start from there? Because I've also heard the MD or CEO of Landmark also talk about they've done their studies and how long it takes countries. I don't want to say more serious-minded countries to build this thing. Sometimes it takes 15 years. Sometimes it takes 20 years. And so if it takes those countries this amount of weight to put up a structure like that, I know it's not going to take us less than 20. That's all I'm saying, right? So couldn't we have started there and then given some businesses, say, okay,
10 years.
10 years.
Yes.
Okay, within 10 years, plan.
That's true.
You know, plan yourself. Then I talk to my shareholders. You are the one on this table. You are the one who understands this business, and you also knows for you to get that kind of capital.
I agree.
So many people are involved. So these guys get to know, and then we say, okay, we stop building, we stop doing this, we stop doing this. Are we looking at another country and all of that?
Very correct.
And then the final one, I also have a fear. Like I said, this goes beyond landmark. I heard when you listen to somebody who knows better than you on any matter, you need to listen to him carefully. Yes. And there was something he said, I want to, run by you, and let us just look at this. One thing he said is, for every country that has built what Nigeria wants to build, this coastal highway, that what it does is enhance the kind of business they do by that side, because everybody now wants to be there. You know, it connects and all of that. But when he sees what we want to do, it seems like we are destroying, what this, one of the things this highway should encourage. Yes. So in all of these things, what I'm just asking is, what does this say about how we operate? Because you said something. You said the government has promised us. Yes. I don't want to talk about all the promises, including the promise that when we take off fuel subsidy, our lives will be better because we have more in health services. I don't know the health services you now enjoy. But, I have 2 little children in school. And I know one of the things they also said was education. And I've not enjoyed it. So we can go on and on. So I don't want to talk about trust. I just want to talk about, what does this say, sir, about how we run this country?
There's no way we will discuss this or we'll talk about this without getting back to the issue of transparency and accountability and governance. Okay, the landmark man, CEO, has given us an idea based on what you just said now. But truth is that government has not also, apart from promises, mere promises, they've not also come to tell us that we must do this and we are starting with landmark. Because you said something that's very critical and very important. Would it not be possible for them to start off in some, because when we talk about these coastal highways, you have areas where you don't have, you don't have human being, no investments, no whatever. It makes sense for you to start off from those areas. Give this man a period of 10 years, maybe compensate him with some land or whatever somewhere else, and let the man know that in 10 years you're going to exit from there, and everybody is happy. business continues. Is there anything that says that if you don't start this with demolition landmark, that this coastal highway, whether there's a spirit that's guiding the project, that if this does not happen, then this project will not work out. So, you know, so you know, it now brings us to the question which you asked, you know, what is actually happening concerning governance? Is this how things are done? So we don't want to take it to, you know, we don't want to be political about it, you know, to begin to think that, you know, they're trying to victimize or do this or whatever. Let's not go there. But the issue is that some of these unanswered questions make us begin to gravitate towards those areas since we've done all the analysis and we are not making sense from there. So what else is remaining? Is, you know, to begin to think that there's more to this than just, you know, what we are reading and what we are hearing. And it's quite unfortunate because it breeds suspicion, it breeds mistrust, and it breeds a misunderstanding. And it's not right, you know.
It's not right. All right, one thing that's also not right we might talk about briefly before we leave